Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Jackson Omondi. Tonight, I want us to talk about technical writing. Now, so many people are finding it hard to have a professional, precise, comprehensive, and clear technical writing. Technical writing comes in different forms. It can come as a form of job application letter. Yes, that's a technical writing. It can come as a report. It can be a professional essay. It can be a research paper. It can be curriculum vitae, what other people call CV or resume. All these are kinds of technical writings that most people find it hard to write. And I cannot blame them. They find it hard to write because they do not know the recipe, the process that they need to go through for a technical write-up to come out clear. Now, tonight, I just want to make a short video on the 5-stage process that you need to go through or you need to think about before you write a technical write-up. Now, of course, I want to narrow it down to job application letter because I've been sitting in different recruitment panels. I read the job application letters that people do write, and I think this video will be good for you if you seriously follow the 5-stage process that you need to think about before you write an application letter. And in this case, job application letter. And like I said, in any form of technical writing, you need these 5 stages for your write-up to stand out. Now, for job application letter and any other technical write-up, like I said previously, stage number 1 is called preparation. Now, at this stage, you need to ask yourself, what is the purpose of my writing? What do I want to achieve with this kind of writing? For the sake of an academic paper, of course, you want to pass that paper. You want to convince your lecturer that you clearly understand the topic that you're writing about. For job application letter, which is the main reason for this video tonight, is for you to win the next stage, for you to move to the next stage of your application process, that is being called for an interview. And the next reason is for your application letter to stand out among so many thousands and thousands of applications that probably could have been sent for that particular position. So you need to really ask yourself, why am I writing this letter? What is the purpose of my write-up? What is the purpose of writing a job application letter? Stage number 2, very important, is to do a bit of some reading, that is research. Research about this organization that you want to send an application letter to. Get to know them a little bit, know their values, know their objectives, know what they stand for. Know what are the kind of qualities are they looking for, so that when you are drafting your letter, you make it in a way that is appealing to the recruitment panel so that they get to understand that this is the right person that we need to hire. So get to know a bit of the organization you want to send your application to. And that is the process number 2, doing research. Do some fact-finding mission. Get to know them before you put pen to paper. Are we together? Number 3, you need to do what we call organization. How are you going to organize your application letter so that it stands out among so many other applications out there? This is very, very important. You need to think about, in terms of job application letter, what is the format am I going to use? Am I going to use a block format, or am I going to use the slanted? For this, I will recommend, as always, that you use the block format. Block format makes your work looks nicer, it makes your work looks professional, and it makes you look like you know what you're talking about. So you really need to think about which format am I going to use? And is this format going to make my application stand out? And then stage number 4 is the actual write-up. How am I going to design my writing to make sure that it's the best, to make sure that I convey the information that I wanted to convey, to make sure that the recruitment panel are able to see my application and my application will stand out. Now, in the actual write-up, just like any other technical writing, your job application letter must have an introduction. And then second aspect of it, it must have a body. And the final part of it, it must have a conclusion. So in the introduction, you talk about what you've done in the past and how that is related to the application or the position that you want to fill. And then in the body, you talk about the qualities and skills and experience that you have that when you bring to this organization, it's going to add value and make you to be the right candidate. And then in the conclusion, you make sure that you diplomatically request for an interview in a professional manner. I will make another video talking about the actual writing of application letter. Today, I just wanted us to talk about the 5-stage process that your application needs to go through for it to stand out. And then the final stage is a review. You need to review your write-up. You know, you've thought about, you've done the preparation, you've done a research, you now narrow it down to how you want to write it. And then the final stage, you need to review and look at it. Does that write-up make sense to me? Read it loud to yourself 3, 4, 5 times. Does it ring a bell? That assuming when you are reading that now you are the HR personnel that is reading an application, will you shortlist that person? Will that application stand out for you if you are the one in the recruitment panel? So when it makes sense to you, then you know that your write-up is the best and your write-up has gone through the 5-stage process, and that will make you go to the next level of being shortlisted and probably called for an interview. So that is what I wanted us to talk about. And in our next video, we'll talk about how to write an application letter, the actual write-up of an application letter. Thank you so much for listening. If this video makes sense to you, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and look out